What's up, everybody? My name is Jackie LaCroix. I just wanted just 2 minutes to explain to you really how Kristin is doing this differently, because I've been in online business for over 10 years. I've seen a lot of coaches, a lot of trainers. I've taken a lot of trainings. I've worked with a lot of coaches. Sometimes I'm exhausted just thinking about how many. But what I've loved about Kristin from the second I've met her and looked into her work is, one, her authenticity. Right now, I'm not hating and I'm not mentioning names, and I can't even think of them honestly, but I know I've met people in this space where you have the sense that they are in it more for their own income and maybe even image than the impact that they're going to have on their clients. And that is not at all what Kristin is here for. And if you've ever had the pleasure of meeting her in person, or you will, then you'll sense that immediately. There's a realness, there's a caring, there's a concern for the client's well-being and success that unfortunately is not always what you're going to find, but you're going to find it here. And what I love about Kristin is she herself came out of corporate. So this is not an internet OG, like I guess I've become, but this is someone who has been in the trenches, who has kind of sorted through the confusion of this $1 million offer system and figured out how to master it for the quote unquote lay people, if you will, a beginner maybe like you might feel you are, or someone transitioning into this space, or who wants to scale up what they're already doing in this space using high ticket offers, offer creation, selling one-to-many, communicating, speaking effectively in an appealing way. And so she, through mastering it as someone who had not been introduced to it previously, coming out of a totally different world, has so much more awareness, right? Like there's a second level of understanding. There's someone who understands a system and can just regurgitate it. And then there's someone who's actually had to figure out how to do it themselves. And there's a second tier of mastery when they've walked it. And then thirdly, Kristin is actually walking it with you, right? So she's walked it herself, she's mastered it, she actually cares. But what's extraordinary about this opportunity, and in my opinion, it's going to be short-lived, even if she doesn't say that it's short-lived yet, because she's such a gifted trainer and speaker herself, that as everybody eventually does when they need to leverage their time so they can be with their family, etc., as they have even more accessibility to bigger audiences, they eventually start to become more of a teacher and less of an implementer with you. So this is a chance to work with someone who's incredibly hardworking, incredibly high integrity, incredibly gifted at explaining complicated things in simple ways and motivating you to take massive action. That's why they call her the LFG Queen, which I just love. And she's actually going to walk with you and implement it with you, which if you have any kind of fears that you're not actually going to do this, or you're not going to be able to figure it out, or it's going to be too confusing, or you're going to be too overwhelmed, or how's it going to work for you, and you probably just, it'll probably be one of those things you buy and it never even works. If she's doing it with you, she's going to make sure that it works, because she's going to be working it with you, which is the greatest gift, I think, these days in any kind of training capacity, is having someone who's got skin in the game with you, and they're walking the path with you, making sure that you get to where you want to go, which is your own 6- and 7-figure days. So if you're here, if you're considering this, I'm so excited for you, because you have just found one of the hidden gifts of the internet, and I would not hesitate to work with Kristin at this rate while you can.